In your time, Theo, you've had some scathing things to say about Wigan Council and the developments in the town over the years. Do you still feel very strongly about this?
I feel even more strongly about it. I think they've ruined the town. I think Wigan is now like every other town in the north of England. Woolworths, all the stores are there. You can't tell one from another. And any building of any worth, they've pulled down. There's not a genuine building in Wigan, no.
You once painted the mayor at Wigan Pier as a skeleton in red robes, didn't you? What was the point of that picture?
No, he wasn't a skeleton in that picture, Geoffrey. He was in another one. You mean the Wigan Pier picture? Well, I see Wigan Pier as something that George Formby Senior made up. He developed that idea. He was a great comedian. He wasn't like his son, just laughing and sneering at Wigan and Wigan people. The Londoners love his film because they think that's how it is up here. They're all daft like him. But George Formby Senior was a great man. They shouldn't be erecting a statue or a notice to George Orwell, who was an enemy of Wigan. They should be erecting a monument to George Formby Senior.
What was Wigan like as a town when you were a child? Was it the inspiration for your Lancashire scenes?
Oh, without a doubt, yes. Even if I'm painting a street scene, it reminds me of a Wigan street. I love Wigan and the people in it at that time. All these flats, to me, are just ugly. The rows of houses and cottages are beautiful.
But they've gone.
They've gone. It's just a jumble, Wigan now, to me.
Do you go there anymore, Theo?
No, I'll never want to go. I remember the little things, that like the old arcade. It's very small, unique. They pulled that down. A lot of things. All the houses in Wigan, there's not one genuine Tudor building left. But when I was a boy, I remember some.
Changing the subject now and going back to talk about children. The walls of this house have your paintings and your family's paintings, but there are also hundreds of paintings by children.
That's right. I love children's paintings. I've never seen a child do anything without some idea behind it, showing you something. But I've seen many adult painters with no idea behind the pictures. All they do is sit down and copy the scenes. Now I say that painters who just copy the scenes, they become people who are telling lies. They're not showing the true feeling of the place.
In one interview you said it was good to hate the right things.
Yeah.
What do you think are the right things to hate?
The people who murder children, and the people who rape and murder young children and old people and batter them to death. I hate that kind of thing. Hate the bad, but love the good.
You live very simply, Theo, and in fact you say you wear second-hand clothes because they feel friendly.
Yeah.
Painting hasn't made you rich, you've turned down probably thousands and thousands of pounds. Could in fact you have been very rich, Theo?
Oh, I could have been very, 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 very rich. But I don't want to be rich. I don't want to have more money than anyone like an old age pensioner. I'm an old age pensioner. Why should I have more money than another old age pensioner? No, I don't want it. If I had it, I'd just give it away, that's all.
How did your life change when Kathleen died in 1978?
Well, it didn't change, Geoffrey, because she's still here. I don't believe what the church teaches about death, and you go to dust, dust to dust, ashes to ashes. I don't believe anything like that. I'm only interested and I only paint the spirit of things. And the spirit goes on and on and on.
Will you tell me something about your grandchildren, Simeon and Ruth? They play a big part in your life, don't they?
Oh, children, all children, but Ruth especially, because she's so close to me, and Simeon too. No, Ruth is a wonderful little artist. I'm very proud of Ruth. But I've never taught her. Children just come to this house and they see pictures and they go home and draw wonderful things. I never tell them what to do. Simeon doesn't paint as much now because when he went to school, the teacher said, if you're going to draw a house or a building, you must use a ruler. This is just the opposite to art. They don't know a thing about art. No.
Mary, some years ago, wrote a book about you.
Yeah.
Were you very pleased about this?
Oh, delighted. I didn't know she was writing a book. She just borrowed the articles and took them home and put them in a book form. And I said, this is so good, it must be published. So I got a friend of mine to take the photographs of some of the pictures, just in black and white because I couldn't afford the colour. The cover is in colour. No, Mary did a wonderful job. And I feel that someday people will realise there's more about art in that book than any book that's ever been published.
Yeah.
I believe that.
When you talked about the council and your attitude to the council some moments ago, you did in fact sell 2 paintings to the council.
Yes.
Was this after great persuasion, or what? Why did you do that?
Well, they came and they wanted to buy one. And then they went for a meal and could they buy another. And one was the crucifixion at Wigan with Christ on a telegraph pole and all the little figures underneath. And the other was a picture of Wigan before it was spoiled. The old Wigan. But I only sold it to them because I thought Wigan people can see 2 of my pictures. They've never shown them, as far as I know, since.
In fact, would you have sold them had you known that they were going to be put in a cellar?
I wouldn't have dreamt of selling them. No. And I wouldn't have sold them for £1,000 each. Either of those pictures. But I thought the Wigan people could see them.
If in fact, Theo, you sold 2 pictures for £1,000 each, at a conservative estimate it would mean the financial value of the pictures in your 2 houses here at Apley Bridge are worth millions. How do you react to that?
Yeah. I don't care. I've no interest in that. No, the pictures are the things of value in my house.
In addition to painting the northern scene, Theo, many years ago you wrote a poem about Lancashire and your love of Lancashire people. Will you read it for me?
When I was a child, I saw the firelight shining on polished brass in our little house. I saw the cheap, faded wallpaper turned to an orange light by the setting sun. I saw Lancashire women ironing, folding and pegging out their washing. I remember my playmates in the dark streets becoming transformed by the sudden blazing red reflections of an open blast furnace. I saw the ironworks lit up with fire, the wet pavements alive with the reflections of fire. I saw Lancashire people, the young and the old, the middle girls with their shawls and clattering clogs. I heard the warmth of their voices. I saw the tired pitmen returning from work. I saw their blackened faces, the startling whiteness of their eyes and the redness of the lips. In the northern scene, I began to see a great beauty. I saw the tall chimneys with the patternings of smoke against the grey skies. I saw the sun, white, yellow, pink or red, reflecting from the dark landscape. I saw the flash of light and water. I saw the mist and fog turn the landscape into a delicate greyness. I saw the rain. I saw the blackworks against the pure whiteness of snow. I saw the straight lines of chimneys making love to the sky. I saw where a white sun, a canal, a man looking out of the mist could express a loveliness as wonderful as a wild flower in its setting. I saw the moon sailing in the dark sky, the lit-up factories, the reflections of light on the wet landscape. I heard the noise of the great machines. I saw the dawn, the rising sun, the rhythm of birds' flight, the white seagulls, the yellow-beaked blackbird, the speckled thrush, the hopping sparrow, and the great silent swans flying overhead. I saw the landscape and the people. I saw the Lancashire characters moulded by circumstances and environment. The undefeated humour of these people, but above all I saw the children. I saw the beauty of these children. I heard the music of their voices. This landscape and people are a great reservoir of emotional power, ready to give life and meaning to the painter, the poet and the writer. When I first began to paint the Lancashire scene, these are the things which influenced me most. I did not imitate or copy any particular works or scene. I tried to give expression to the relationship between people and landscape, between man and works, woman and child and animal, between earth and sky, light and water, man and woman. I saw the artist function as poet, visionary and prophet, a seeker after truth. Truth disturbs, but when it finds expression in art, it brings with it a strange and moving beauty. The North is a place for work, life and love.
Theo, you've also written a piece on the purpose of art, which I understand is you wrote this week.
Yes. Really? The purpose of art is to find and express meaning and understanding to man's spiritual existence on earth. The artist seeks neither fame nor fortune. His task is not one of producing more pictures to decorate people's walls, or in recording the appearance of the natural world. His mission is a spiritual one.
And these, Theo, are your thoughts on painting.
Yeah. Each day I empty my mind of all knowledge of art, past or present. I take a brush dipped in white paint and begin to feel for something which I believe already exists. In saying this, I do not mean that the painting already exists, but the truth which is the heart of the painting already exists. The artist's task is to give life and meaning to these truths, to reveal the purpose of man's existence on earth, to communicate with all things spiritual. These spiritual truths expressed through art are neither old or new, for art is timeless. Man's first paintings are as modern as any paintings today. A good painting gives expression to past, present and future. The seeking after effects or fashions in paintings shown today is a waste of the artist's precious time. Picasso said, "I do not seek, I find." It is impossible to find something which does not already exist. Robert Graves, the poet, claimed that the poem exists before it is thought about or written down. I would say that the truth expressed in the poem already exists before it is written down. A work of art belongs to all people, not the few wealthy people who take possession and only value art for money market values. For this reason, I will not sell my work to such people. I live and work in the North, for I believe the Northern people are a great people. The North is a wonderful and magic place in which to live, to work and to love. I seek neither fame nor fortune. My contentment lies in discovering truth and beauty in the North, and in my love of children I find great happiness.
This afternoon, Theo, you've talked a lot about children and your love of children and how you believe that school knocks art out of children. I understand that recently, when you've not been painting, you've written some stories which your granddaughter Ruth has illustrated. Will you read one of these stories for us?
The Tale of a Table. This is a true story. The Round Table lived a happy life with a good family. The wooden table was polished each week. During the times when the family had their meals, a white cloth was carefully laid on the table. Although the table had only one leg, it was very strong and a beautifully carved leg. The round polished table was a splendid sight. One day the daughter of the house came home and told her mother that she had seen a square table in a furniture shop with 4 straight legs. "It's a modern table," the girl said. "They are very fashionable, and I would love to have it in our house instead of that old round table. No one wants round tables these days," she said, turning up her nose. So out went the poor round table. It stood in the backyard in all weathers. The rain poured down on it, the lightning almost struck it, and snow fell on it, and the frost made it shiver all over. "I do wish I was a bird so that I could fluff out my feathers to keep warm," groaned the table. "I will die soon if someone doesn't rescue me." A tear ran down its cheek. An old artist who wore a funny red cap heard of the miserable round table. So he went to the house where the table was and asked if he could have the table. "Certainly," said the lady, "for I was going to ask the rag and bone man to take it away this very day." The old artist took the table to his home and scrubbed it and cleaned it. "I do hope the old man is not going to chop me up for firewood," thought the table. He felt very sad. Now the artist and his beautiful wife, who was also an artist, had very different plans for the table. For when it was clean, they painted it with white, with two coats of pure white paint of the best quality. The next day the table heard knocking at the door, and then the room was full of children. They all sat round the table and painted beautiful pictures, which made the shining round table very happy, because like the old man and his beautiful wife, he also loved children. They all lived happily together. The house was full of pictures, lovely music, played by his beautiful wife. During the years that followed, the old artist painted so many pictures that they had no room for the white table, or for chairs, or for any furniture. All the lovely children had grown up, and some had children of their own. They never forgot the old man and his beautiful wife. So sadly, the old man took the round table and put it in his garage. "At least it will be dry and free from rain and cold," he said. The spiders wove beautiful webs across the table, and the bees kept the table interested by their buzzing. One day the old man was making picture frames for his pictures. A friend called, who was an antique dealer. He saw the table and he said, "I'll give you £20 for it and make it into a beautiful table again." This made the old man happy, knowing that the fine white table which had given happiness to so many children, would be restored and loved by another old man and his wife. The antique dealer, who loved the old tables and chairs, scraped off all the white paint, which was rather painful for the old table. But it put up with the pain because it knew the old man wouldn't really hurt it. After many days, the top of the table was plain, very flat and smooth. It had an iron burned by a silly person who rested the iron on the table. The pain caused by the burn would always be remembered by the table. When the table was ready, the old man applied the golden varnish and polish, and the table looked very beautiful and splendid. Many people came from miles around to admire it. When the old artist saw it, he whispered to the table, "Are you happy now?" "Fairly happy," said the table, but the happiest time of all was when all the children sat around and painted beautiful pictures. Please will you go on painting beautiful pictures and loving children and all beautiful things.